Welcome, fight fans. Today we're breaking down the amazing boxing match between David Benavidez and Oleksandr Gvozdyk for the interim WBC light heavyweight title. We know who took home the win in this highly anticipated battle as David Benavidez stepped up to the light heavyweight division, but who really won? Did David Benavidez get too much credit for moving up to a new division and taking the win? Were the judges' scorecards too wide? We'll cover the full fight, Benavidez versus Gvozdyk highlights, and give you the official scorecard and round-by-round analysis in the 4 boxing criteria that really matter most. Stay tuned for an in-depth look at Benavidez versus Gvozdyk as we dive into who won the fight and what the judges' scores say about this epic clash. By the end of this video, you will know who really won, David Benavidez versus Oleksandr Gvozdyk. This was a great fight with a lot to break down, so before we get too deep into it, if you would take 3 seconds to like this video if you enjoyed this kind of content, it really helps out the channel, and if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching. Round 1. Clean punching. Benavidez had a jab to the body at 2:49 on the clock, 2:39, a short left hook to the head, a jab to the body at 2:37, a straight right to the head at 2:11, a left hook to the body at 1:59 on the clock, left hook to the body at 1:48, left hook to the body at 1:25, a jab to the head at 1:12 and again at 1:05 on the clock, a right hook to the body at 47 seconds, right hook to the body again at 33 seconds on the clock, jabs to the head at 21 and 19 seconds remaining, and a straight right to the head at 15 seconds remaining in the first round. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a jab to the body at 2:47, a double jabs to the head at 2:09, a jab to the head at 2:02 and again at 1:48. Both fighters' jabs is snapping heads back at this point. Gvozdyk with another jab to the head at 57 seconds remaining, a jab to the head at 42 seconds remaining, and we end the round 14-7, clean punches landed in favor of David Benavidez. So in scoring round 1 for clean punching, Benavidez lands twice as many clean punches, 10-8 for clean punching in favor of Benavidez. Effective aggression. Benavidez was dealing with Gvozdyk's better aggression in the first minute, being pushed back, having to defend well, but coming right back forward at every opportunity like a rubber band. Benavidez was the more effective aggressor in the second minute, trying to cut off the ring, walking forward consistently and throwing punches aggressively. He wasn't as effective in shutting off Gvozdyk's offense as was done to him in the first minute, but he did stop Gvozdyk from coming forward and forced him to continue his work from a distance. The same was true in the last minute, and Benavidez became even more aggressive. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, was the more effective aggressor in the first minute. He walked Benavidez back more, threw more punches, pushed off, moved around, and attacked again. In the second minute, he still had effective offense, but was forced to do it from a distance as he circled to escape more often. He did really nice work with his jab and movement in the third minute, but it wasn't as aggressive as Benavidez, and his punches landed were fewer. That being said, in scoring effective aggression, 10-9 in favor of Benavidez for being more aggressive, 10 points to both fighters for being effective in their aggression. Ring generalship. This category is difficult because Gvozdyk adapted really well to his situation throughout the round, whereas Benavidez had a single plan and kept pushing and pushing for it until it started working in the second minute. However, there was a large chunk of time when he was clearly trying to get closer to Gvozdyk and was held at bay with a very good jab, so he wasn't able to set action and tone during that time. Gvozdyk set a pace and tone of coming forward and imposing his size at the beginning of the round. This worked for about 30 seconds, but Benavidez had some really nice defensive moves that helped him acclimate himself and start getting his offense going toward the end of the first minute. Then Gvozdyk had great movements circling while still using a technically sound jab in the second minute. He made Benavidez miss wildly a couple of times and held him almost exclusively at bay between 1:10 and 20 seconds on the clock when Benavidez became more effective with his come-forward aggression. Ring generalship, 10-9 in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Let's talk defense. And in this video, I'm adding in 2 different rules from how I've treated defense in the past. I noticed that the good fighters, at least, are performing so many defensive nuances that the list becomes very long and you'll get bored listening to me read them all off, so I'll put them on the screen for you as you see here, but then we can just go to the defensive scoring and the various aspects to determine who had the better defense in that round. The other thing I've done before is if somebody didn't do a defensive approach at all, like there were no parries in a round, they were getting 0 points for parries in that round, that can greatly skew the final scoring for that round, so I've decided to change that. If someone didn't do a move at all, like they didn't clinch at all, that's not 0 for clinching, that's 7. And that'll help mitigate someone who's really offensive and didn't clinch at all being overtaken by somebody who clinched a lot to overcome them. And that being said, have a look at all of this defense that El Monstruo, David Benavidez, is doing. He has this monster mystique, but boy does he do a lot of great defense. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a lot of great defense himself, weaving, stepping back, clinching, and you can see the full list of his defensive movements in round 1 here. So we take all that information together. Blocking off the high guard is 10-9 in favor of Benavidez, ducking 10-9 in favor of Benavidez, bobbing and weaving 10-9 in favor of Benavidez, parrying 8-7 in favor of Benavidez, locking 10-9 in favor of Benavidez, footwork 10-8 in favor of Gvozdyk, and clinching, there was 1 clinch for Gvozdyk, so 8-7 in favor of Gvozdyk. And when we take the 4 scoring categories together, my algorithm spits out 9.567 points for David Benavidez, 9.009 points for Oleksandr Gvozdyk, and a 10-point must system, 10-9 David Benavidez for round 1. As we go through this analysis, I'll compare my score to what the 3 judges at ringside had. We'll call that the running score. So far after round 1, again, I have it 10-9 Benavidez. Judge at ringside, Zachary Young, has it also 10-9 Benavidez. Judge Dave Moretti has it 10-9 Benavidez, and Judge Don Trella also 10-9 Benavidez. Round 2. Clean punching. Benavidez with a lot of them. A straight right to the body at 255, a jab to the head at 253, a left hook to the head at 248, jab to the body at 244, left hook to the head at 226, coming out of the clinch, a left hook to the head coming out of the clinch at 226, left hook to the head at 221, left hook to the body at 214, a left hook to the head at 206, right hook to the body at 158, jab to the head at 156, left hook to the chest at 150, right hook to the body at 141, jab to the head at 128, straight right cross to the head at 123, a left hook to the body at 118, straight right to the head at 111, a jab, straight right, left hook, right uppercut combo to the head at 109, right hook to the head at 101, a left hook to the body at 57 seconds, jab to the head at 34 seconds, a left hook to the body at 30 seconds, right hook to the body at 26 seconds, jabs to the head at 22 and 20 seconds on the clock, another one at 19 seconds on the clock, a straight right to the head at 16 seconds, left hook to the body at 13, a left uppercut, right hook to the head combo with 1 second remaining. And before we talk about Gvozdyk's clean punching, first of all, look at this image. Boy, do I wish I had shoulder definition like that. Well, he had a straight right to the chest to start off at 242 on the clock, jab to the head at 239, straight right to the chin at 233, left hook to the head at 224, left hook to the head at 204, a jab to the head at 156, straight right to the head at 149, a jab to the head at 146, a straight right to the head at 125, left cross to the head at 117, a jab to the head at 105, 2 jabs to the head at 55 seconds, jabs to the head at 51 and 41 seconds on the clock, a short left hook to the head at 28 seconds, a straight right to the head at 24 seconds, jab to the head with 5 seconds remaining, and a straight right to the head with 2 seconds remaining. All in all, 32-19 clean punches landed in favor of David Benavidez in this round. A large disparity, but not large enough to get him a 10-8 score for clean punching, 10-9 in favor of David Benavidez. Effective aggression. Both fighters had effective aggression in the first minute, but Benavidez' style had more urgency. In the second minute, he came forward, cutting off the ring even more. He seemed to gas a bit in the beginning of the third minute, but was very aggressive again in the last 30 seconds, landing the harder punches. It's funny, the term monster makes you think he's only aggressive, but you see great defense and precision punching in 25% slow motion. Gvozdyk showed aggressive straight punches in the first minute. He moved just out of range, but was right back in there with punches. He's more trying to control ring generalship than be overly aggressive, and this continued throughout the other 2 minutes. Effective aggression 10-9 in favor of David Benavidez. Ring generalship. As the first minute progressed into the rest of the round, Benavidez took control of the action and tone, becoming a forward-moving force with hard, precise punches. Gvozdyk controlled action and tone at the beginning of the round for about the first 40 seconds. He stood his ground, jabbed well, and made Benavidez have to adjust. As the round progressed, though, Benavidez became like a strong elastic band moving toward him. Gvozdyk kept pushing back with punches and actual pushes, but the elastic band kept rebounding back forward at him. Gvozdyk had another solid 30 seconds of control later, but overall, Benavidez controlled action and tone for a little longer. And that's why I gave ring generalship to David Benavidez, both in controlling action and tone, 10-9. Let's talk defense. As I mentioned, David Benavidez is doing a lot of things defensively, blocking, parrying, clinching. He's sprinkling in subtle feints, doing just a little bit of everything. Volk also had a lot of defense, but not quite as much as Benavidez, bobbing, blocking, parrying, and so forth. So who did more of what defensively in round 2? The high guard blocking, I gave to David Benavidez 10-8. For ducking, again, 10-8 in favor of Benavidez. Bobbing and weaving, 10-9 in favor of Benavidez. In parrying, 10-8 in favor of Benavidez. Blocks that aren't from the high guard, like other types of blocks, I categorize those separately. Again, 10-8 in Benavidez's favor. Footwork, 10-7 in Gvozdyk's favor. I didn't see Benavidez step away at all. And then for clinching, no clinches initiated by Benavidez, 1 for Gvozdyk, 8-7 for Gvozdyk. So overall, the more consistently defensive round for David Benavidez. Taking the 4 categories into consideration, this one was pretty wide. My algorithm gave 9.829 points to Benavidez, 8.886 points to Gvozdyk in the 10-point must system, 10-9 in round 2 in favor of David Benavidez. So let's take a look at that running score, shall we? I now have David Benavidez up 2018. Judge Zachary Young has him also up 2018 after giving that round to Benavidez. Dave Moretti also gave the round to Benavidez and has the score 2018 in favor of Benavidez. And Don Trella also gave the round 10-9 to Benavidez and also has the same running score, 20-18 in Benavidez's favor. L3. Clean punching. Benavidez with a left hook to the body at 217, a right hook to the head at 211, right hook to the body at 2 minutes on the clock, jab to the head at 144, right hook to the body at 136, a right to the head at 116, a right uppercut to the head at 113, left uppercut to the chest at 110, a straight right to the head at 109, which looked mutual like that Rocky Apollo painting that's so famous. Then a straight right to the head at 107 by Benavidez, a left uppercut to the head at 1 minute on the clock. Wow, it was so precise to get between the gloves though. You should go watch this fight to see that particular punch. Jabs to the head by Benavidez at 59, 46, and 38 seconds on the clock, a left hook to the head at 27 seconds, left hook to the body at 14 seconds, a jab to the head at 7 seconds. At 16 seconds, he switched southpaw momentarily and had a straight left to the head at 7 seconds on the clock, and then closed out the round at 5 seconds on the clock with a left hook to the chest, right hook to the body combo. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a jab to the chest at 240 on the clock, jab to the chin at 239, a jab to the head at 236, uppercut to the body at 229, jab to the chest at 217, right to the head at 210, a left hook to the head at 152, a jab to the chest at 147, jab to the head at 141, jab to the head at 122, straight right to the head at 109, a straight right to the head at 55 seconds, a right hook, left hook combo to the head at 51 seconds, jab to the head at 32 seconds, jab to the side of the head at 22 seconds, and we end up with a 20-16 clean punches landed advantage for David Benavidez, even though Gvozdyk started landing earlier, and that's why David Benavidez for clean punching scores 10-9 over Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Effective aggression. Benavidez was the greater aggressor for basically the whole round. He wasn't very effective in the first minute as he continued to come forward and throw with conviction, but he was getting hit on the way in until he landed his first clean punch well into the round. Gvozdyk started landing punches much earlier in the round, but wasn't very aggressive. He was covering up, moving moving just out of range to punch Benavidez as Benavidez closed the distance back up. But as the round progressed, Benavidez's consistent pressure was able to overcome Gvozdyk's responsible boxing. And so for effective aggression, I gave aggression and effectiveness of that aggression to David Benavidez, 10-9. Ring generalship. 141 on the clock like the turning point to me when Benavidez shifted control of action and tone into his favor. He learned the timing of Gvozdyk's punches that had been slowing his forward movement and effectively overcame it. So a slightly longer portion of the round in Benavidez's favor for control of action and tone. The round had originally begun with Gvozdyk controlling the action and tone with his straight punches and defensive movement, stifling Benavidez as he tried to close the distance, but Benavidez did eventually get the timing and come forward at will without being hit as much, actually landing more clean punches in the round. And so for ring generalship, I gave control of both action and tone to Benavidez, 10-9. Let's talk defense and take a look at all these defensive maneuvers by David Benavidez in this round. It takes up the whole screen. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a lot of defense as well, but not quite as much as Benavidez. Who did what in terms of defense? Blocking off the high guard to David Benavidez, 10-8. Ducking 10-8 to Benavidez, bobbing and weaving. I gave 10 points to both guys. They both did quite a bit of that. Parrying, I gave to David Benavidez, 10-8. Blocking not off the high guard, I gave to Gvozdyk, 9-8. Footwork, I didn't see Benavidez step away at all, so 10-7 in favor of Gvozdyk, and neither clinch, so 7 points there. Overall, the more comprehensive defensive round for Benavidez. And when we take the four categories together, again, pretty wide here. My algorithm gave 9.771 points to David Benavidez, 8.914 points to Oleksandr Gvozdyk in the 10-point must system, 10-9 Benavidez for round 3. And again, let's take a look at that running score. So I now have the fight 30-27 in favor of Benavidez. Judge Zachary Young, who gave the round to Benavidez, also has a 30-27. Dave Moretti, who also gave the round to Benavidez, has a 30-27 Benavidez. And Don Trella, the same, 10-9 for Benavidez in round 3, and a running score 30-27 in favor of David Benavidez. Round 4. Punching. David Benavidez had a jab to the head at 224, a straight right to the head at 221, a straight right to the head again at 212, left hook to the body at 203, right hook to the head at 148, a jab to the head at 142, left hook to the head at 122, jab to the head at 106, right hook to the head at 46 seconds, a jab to the head at 40 seconds, right uppercut to the body at 37 seconds, a left uppercut, right hook combo to the head at 34 seconds, left hook to the head at 25 seconds, uppercut to the head at 23 seconds, right hook to the head at 22 seconds, left uppercut to the head at 19 seconds, right hook to the head at 18 seconds, right hook left hook combo to the body at 14 seconds, a left hook to the head at 8 seconds, and then a right hook to the head at 3 seconds remaining. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a jab to the head at 257, another one at 236, another one at 233, a right to the side of the head at 232, jab to the chest at 227, right hook to the head at 220. Then they had a head clash at 210, a right hook to the head at 207, a jab to the head at 152, straight right to the body at 142, jab to the head at 123, straight right to the head at 121, a jab to the head at 116, jab to the head at 56 seconds, straight right to the head at 52 seconds, a straight right to the head again at 41 seconds, jab to the chest at 30 seconds, jab to the head at 20 seconds. All in all, 22-15 clean punches landed advantage for David Benavidez, therefore, in scoring clean punching 10-9, Benavidez. Effective aggression. Benavidez was in a totally defensive posture at the beginning of the round. He did mention later that he had some injuries in round 3, so perhaps he was being cautious with his body. Between about 222 and 46, he was more aggressive than Gvozdyk with mixed effectiveness. After that, though, Benavidez came alive, overcame the clean punch deficit, moved forward, cut off the ring, and landed hard punches. Overall, Benavidez was more aggressive for longer and quite effective, especially in the later portion of the round. Gvozdyk was by far the more effective aggressor until about 222, punching well and moving Benavidez back to the ropes. Then Benavidez warmed up and started fighting back aggressively. Gvozdyk was using good boxing to keep him at bay many times, but this wasn't true aggression since he was mostly sticking and moving. In scoring effective aggression, aggressiveness, and effectiveness, 10-9 in favor of Benavidez. Ring generalship. Benavidez had no control of action and tone in the first 38 seconds, although he continues to have very good defense. He tried to press the action during the bulk of the round, but was stifled a bit by Gvozdyk's solid boxing and movement. Benavidez took over action and tone at around 46 seconds as if their previous clinch flipped some kind of switch with him. Maybe he was realizing that his courage is sufficient to fight through the injuries that he later mentioned after the fight. Gvozdyk controlled the action and tone until about 222 with busy punching and evasion that kept Benavidez from landing much at all. Between 222 and 46, though, he used elusiveness and good boxing to keep Benavidez at bay, although he did take some punches. He totally gave up control of action and tone around 46 seconds and after the clinch. Overall, Gvozdyk controlled the action and tone for much more of the round, and that's why I gave ring generalship to Oleksandr Gvozdyk, 10-9. Having a look at defense, you see again a huge variety of defense from Benavidez and a smaller variety of defense from Gvozdyk. And if we compile all that data, blocking off the high guard goes 10 points to 8 in favor of Benavidez. Same for ducking, 10-8. Bobbing and weaving, the same, 10-8 for Benavidez. Parrying, 10-7 for Benavidez. I didn't see a parry from Gvozdyk. Blocking, not off the high guard, 10-8 for Benavidez. Footwork in favor of Gvozdyk, 9-8. And we have the clinches, 8-8 to both fighters. Then if we take all four scoring categories together, a little closer but still in Benavidez's favor. In the 10-point must system, that's 10-9. David Benavidez for round 4. And again, let's take a look at the running score. So I now have the running score as 40-36 in favor of Benavidez. Judges Zachary Young, Dave Moretti, and Don Trella all the same gave that round 10-9 to David Benavidez, and all have the fight the same as I do, 40-36 Benavidez. Round 5. Clean clean punching. Benavidez had a left hook to the head at 247, a jab to the body at 241, right hook to the body at 223, left uppercut to the body at 221, an elbow to the head, possibly inadvertent though, at 211, left hook to the head at 209, jab to the head at 152, straight right to the head at 148, a right hook to the body at 142 and then to the head at 138, left hook to the body at 130, jabs to the head at 116 and 112, right hook to the head at 102, a right hook to the body at 102 in the same second there, left hook to the head at 1 minute, straight right to the head at 45 seconds, left uppercut to the body at 42, left hook right hook to the head combo at 39 seconds, left hook to the head at 34 seconds, a jab to the head at 23 seconds, a straight right to the head at 7 seconds, and then a right hook left hook combo to the head with 2 seconds remaining. Gvozdyk on the other hand had a jab to the head at 231, a straight right to the head at 230 and again at 201, a left hook to the head at 158 and also a straight right to the head in that same second at 158, jabs to the head at 128 and 120 on the clock and again at 112, a straight right to the head at 49 seconds, jabs to the head at 43 and 32 seconds, again at 31 seconds. He was jabbing very well in this fight. A left hook straight right combo to the head at 29 seconds, jabs to the head at 20 seconds remaining, a left cross to the head at 16 seconds, a jab to the body at 13 seconds, left hook to the head at 8 seconds, and a straight right to the head at 3 seconds remaining. Overall, 24-20, clean punches landed in favor of David Benavidez, and in that case, I'm going to give the scoring of clean punching to David Benavidez 10-9. Effective aggression! Benavidez had 3 super aggressive multi-punch flurries, but spent most of the round defending Gvozdyk's consistent aggressive punching and trying to get close, even though he did land more punches. Gvozdyk's aggression controlled a significantly larger portion of the round. He moved away a bit in the second half of the round, but was otherwise the more consistent aggressor. Effective aggression 10-9 in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Ring generalship! Benavidez had some flashy aggressive moments and landed many good punches, but he was working hard for a long time to overcome Gvozdyk's control between those flurries. He is visibly relentless though, and keeps coming forward no matter the circumstance. Gvozdyk controlled action and tone for the majority of the round with consistent punching, pushing Benavidez off when he attacked, switching between punching and moving away, and pretty good defense. He had to use this full combination of things to keep the relentless Benavidez from figuring him out and walking through him. The problem is that Benavidez's defense is so amazing that some of Gvozdyk's good punches didn't land. However, ring generalship for round 5, 10-9 in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Let's talk defense. On your screen you see all the variety of defense that Benavidez did in this round, and then the variety of defense that Gvozdyk did in this round. Let's break down this into all the categories of defense to see who had the better defensive round. I gave blocking off the high guard 10-8 to Benavidez, ducking 10-8 to Benavidez, bobbing and weaving 10-8 to Benavidez, parrying 10-7 to Benavidez as I didn't see any parries from Gvozdyk. Other types of blocking also 10-7 Benavidez, footwork meaning stepping away from oncoming punches, the other way 10-7 in favor of Gvozdyk, and no clinches 7-7 for both men there. So overall, the more complete defensive round for David Benavidez. If we take all 4 scoring categories together, the algorithm says there's a narrow win for David Benavidez in round 5, 9.329 to 9.271, putting that in the 10-point must system, 10-9 David Benavidez. If we have another look at the running score now, I now have it 50-45 Benavidez. Judge Zachary Young gave that round to Benavidez as well and has it also 50-45. Judge Dave Moretti also gave the round to Benavidez and has it 50-45 as well, and Judge Don Trella also gave the round to David Benavidez and has it also 50-45. Round 6, lead punching. Benavidez had a jab to the body at 236, a jab to the head at 208, jab to the head at 207, a left hook to the body at 150, jab to the head at 147 and again at 146, 2 jabs to the head at 131, a straight right to the head at 126, right hook, left uppercut, right hook to the head combo at 118, straight right to the head at 116, a jab to the head at 105, a right hook to the body at 104, jab to the head at 50 seconds and again at 34 seconds on the clock and again at 31 seconds, a left hook to the head at 27 seconds and a left hook to the head at 20 seconds. Gvozdyk on the other hand had a straight right to the body at 241, a jab to the head at 234, jab to the body at 219, a straight right to the head at 212, straight right to the head at 209, a jab to the chest at 208, left hook to the chin at 205, jabs to the head at 139 and 113, straight right to the head at 109, left hook to the head at 108, a jab to the head at 107, a jab to the body at 51 seconds, a jab to the head also at 51 seconds, a jab straight right to the head combo at 41 seconds, jab to the head at 24 seconds, again at 21 seconds, a jab straight right to the head combo at 9 seconds to end the round for Gvozdyk. 20-20, exactly the same clean punches landed for both men in this round, and therefore for clean punching I give them both 10 points. Effective aggression. Benavidez was finally able to throw an aggressive combo at 117 after spending much of the round avoiding Gvozdyk's punches and trying to get close. The remainder of the round was similar with Benavidez coming forward to close the distance, landing a few good precise punches, but also missing a couple wildly near the end of the round. Gvozdyk was the more effective aggressor with his consistent punching until about 117, although some of it was busy work. However, he also was using movement to keep Benavidez from getting going with his own aggression. The remainder of the round was similar with Gvozdyk throwing more punches and keeping Benavidez away with a couple exceptions. And therefore, in terms of effective aggression, I gave it 10-9 for both aggressiveness and effectiveness of that aggression to Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Ring generalship. Benavidez was defending in the first 30 seconds, and then despite a few spots of success where he did land as many punches as his opponent after all, he was never able to consistently close the distance and fully implement his plan consistently. Gvozdyk controlled the action and tone for most of the round, keeping Benavidez from getting too close with a consistent jab and moving just out of range to set up his own offense many times. And therefore, for ring generalship, I gave it 10-9 to Oleksandr Gvozdyk, both for controlling action and tone. If you want to freeze your screen, here's the wide wide variety of defensive moves that Benavidez did in this round. It's a huge list. Gvozdyk, also a large list, but nowhere near as much defense as Benavidez. 10 points to 8 for using the high guard block in Benavidez's favor, 10 to 8 for ducking it for Benavidez, 10-9 for bobbing and weaving for Benavidez, 10 to 7 for parrying for Benavidez, 10 to 8 for other blocks that weren't high guard blocks for Benavidez, 10-9 for footwork in favor of Gvozdyk and moving away from punches, and 7 points to each man for lack of clinch. Taking the 4 scoring categories together, I have 9.386 points for Benavidez to 9.629 points for Gvozdyk. In the 10-point must system, round 6 is a 10-9 round for Oleksandr Gvozdyk. And if we take a look again at the running score, I now have the score 59-55 in favor of David Benavidez. Zachary Young, Dave Moretti, and Don Trella all gave that round to David Benavidez and have him up 60-54. Round 7. Click punching. Benavidez had a jab to the body at 233, a jab to the head at 232, jab to the head at 224, jab to the head at 216, a jab to the head at 214, and these are hard even in slow-mo. He then had a right hook to the body at 149, a jab to the head at 131, right hook to the body at 126, jabs to the head at 116, 115, and 114, a jab to the side of the head at 103, left hook to the head at 59 seconds, a straight right to the head at 57 seconds, another one at 34 seconds, a jab to the head at 25, left hook to the head at 18 seconds, a right hook left hook combo to the head at 15 seconds, a left hook to the head at 13 seconds, a straight right to the head at 6 seconds, and then a left hook to the head at 5 seconds. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a jab to the body at 253, a jab to the head at 245, left hook to the head at 241. It was very light, but it was clean. At 230, he had a left hook to the head, also very light, but still clean. At 207, a jab straight right combo to the head, jabs to the head at 146, 143, 139, 131, and 121. Then a left hook to the head at 120, a jab to the head at 118. Lots of punches were out of view in this round, so I couldn't count any of them, unfortunately. He then had a straight right to the head at 49 seconds, a straight right to the body at 44 seconds, straight right to the body again at 36 seconds, a jab to the head at 33 seconds, left hook to the head at 30 seconds, right uppercut to the body at 29, left hook to the head at 26, and we end up with 22-20, very close, clean punches landed in favor of David Benavidez after Gvozdyk was leading for almost the whole round. And therefore, in scoring clean punching, it's 10-9 in favor of David Benavidez. Effective aggression! When aggressive in spots, Benavidez was more aggressive than Gvozdyk, but it was for too little of the round. Gvozdyk was more effectively aggressive for maybe 3/4 of the round, mostly using a good jab to turn off Benavidez's ability to get going, although Benavidez was still the more efficient puncher despite being out aggression. In scoring effective aggression, I gave both aggressiveness and effectiveness of that aggression to Gvozdyk, 10-9. Ring generalship. Benavidez slightly outlanded Gvozdyk despite not controlling much of the action and tone, since he's the more efficient punch lander in this fight. Benavidez punches mostly with intention to land hard, while Gvozdyk punches to keep Benavidez at bay and set a tone. Gvozdyk controlled the action and tone for almost the entire round, with a few short-lived exceptions. He kept Benavidez from unleashing a more complete arsenal with his movement and consistent jab. Even if many of them didn't land, they were giving Benavidez something to block instead of getting his own offense going. And so in terms of ring generalship, 10-9 in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Here's a complete listing of Benavidez's extremely varied defense in this fight. So we move on to Gvozdyk, who had a lot less defense going on, as you can see on your screen. Grouping those things all together, high guard blocking is 10-8 for Benavidez, ducking 10-8 for Benavidez, bobbing and weaving 10-8 for Benavidez, parrying 9-7 for Benavidez, locking in ways that aren't high guard blocks 9-7 for Benavidez, footwork 10-7 in favor of Gvozdyk, and clinching 8-7 in favor of Benavidez. And so the more well-rounded defensive round for Benavidez by far. The algorithm spits out 9.300 points for David Benavidez to 9.271 points to Gvozdyk. A razor-thin win in that round, but it is for David Benavidez in round 7. And again, taking a look at the running score, I now have it 69-64 in favor of Benavidez. Judge Young has it 70-63 Benavidez after giving that round to Benavidez. Dave Moretti gave that round to Gvozdyk and now has the same score I have, 69-64. And Don Trella also gave that round to Gvozdyk and also has the same score I have, 69-64. Round 8. Sweep punching. Benavidez had a jab to the head at 223, right hook to the body at 206, jab to the head at 2 minutes, left hook to the head at 152, right hook to the body at 140, right hook to the body again at 53 seconds, an overhand right to the head at 37 seconds, a left hook to the body also at 37 seconds, left hook to the body again at 35 seconds, jab to the head at 23 seconds, a left check hook to the head at 18 seconds, a left hook to the head at 4 seconds, and then a straight right to the head with 1 second remaining. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a jab to the head at 215, a straight right to the head at 213, jab to the head at 207, left hook to the head at 154, right jab to the head at 139, right hook to the body at 110, left hook to the head at 57 seconds, a straight right to the head at 44 seconds, jabs to the head at 39 and 29 seconds. Again, Gvozdyk is ahead on clean punches landed for most of the round, but then Benavidez catches up and then passes him in the end. 13-10 punches landed in favor of David Benavidez, and that's why Benavidez gets clean punching 10-9. Effective aggression! Benavidez was not able to effectively be aggressive for almost the whole first minute. He had good aggressive moments in the rest of the round that were more aggressive than Gvozdyk, but Benavidez was not as consistently able to keep them going and did miss wildly a couple of times. Gvozdyk was moving forward forward and attacking for the whole first minute, keeping Benavidez from initiating. The remainder of the round was Gvozdyk being more consistent in his mix between being aggressive and moving out of range to keep Benavidez from doing too much. So in terms of effective aggression, 10-9 in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Ring generalship. Even though Benavidez's great defense blocked or evaded many of Gvozdyk's punches, he was only able to get his own offense going sparingly, and only landed slightly more punches because his defense was so good, not because he was dictating pace or tone. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, controlled the action and tone for the vast majority of the round, during which his proactive, busy punching and movement kept Benavidez off of. So in scoring ring generalship, it's 10-9 to Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Again, here's the vast list of defensive moves that David Benavidez was doing in this round, and he is really a master at defense, much more than I thought for this fight. Taking a look at defense, it is a smaller list, but still considerable, and we'll group all of those defensive movements together into these categories. High guard, 10-8 for Benavidez. Duck, 10-9 for Benavidez. Bobbing and weaving, 10-8 Benavidez. Parrying, 7 points to both guys, neither one of them parried. 10-8 blocking for Benavidez. Footwork, 10-9 for Gvozdyk, and neither clinch, so 7 points there to both men. When we take the 4 scoring categories together, this would also razor thin, 9.300 points to Benavidez in my algorithm, 9.329 points to Gvozdyk in the 10-point must system. That's 10-9 Oleksandr Gvozdyk. And as we take another look at the running score, I now have the fight 78-74 Benavidez. Judge Zachary Young at ringside gave that round to Benavidez 10-9 and has it 80-72. Judge Moretti gave that round also to Benavidez and has it 79-73 Benavidez. And Judge Don Trella also gave that round to Benavidez 10-9 and has the running score 79-73. On to 9. Clean punching. Benavidez had a jab to the head at 242, a left hook to the head at 212, left uppercut to the body at 208, right hook to the head at 207, jab to the head at 204, straight right to the head at 157, right uppercut to the body at 152, right hook to the body at 145, 2 jabs to the head at 139 and again at 131, a left hook to the head at 125, jab to the head at 123, left check hook to the head at 122, a jab to the head at 109, left hook to the head at 102, check right hook to the head at 47 seconds, a left hook to the head at 45 seconds, a jab to the head at 36 seconds, right hook to the body at 35 seconds, left hook to the body at 31, again at 29, and then a left hook to the head at 13 seconds, a right hook to the body at 11 seconds, and then a jab to the head with 3 seconds remaining. Gvozdyk had a pretty long list of clean punches landed as well. A jab to the head at 230, straight right to the head at 225, jab to the head at 210, jab to the head at 159, jab to the head at 158, a left hook to the head at 152, left hook to the head at 151, jab to the body at 128, a right hook to the head at 117, straight right to the head at 111, straight right to the head at 59, at 55, and at 45 seconds left on the clock, jabs to the head at 44, 42, and 36 seconds, a right uppercut to the body at 29 seconds, right hook to the head at 28 seconds, and a jab straight right combination to the head at 24 seconds, and then he ends off the round at 5 seconds remaining with a straight right to the head. 25-21 clean punches landed in favor of David Benavidez, and therefore for scoring clean punch, we gave it to David Benavidez 10-9 in this round. Aggression! Benavidez started to be effectively aggressive at about 2:12 on the clock after circling back from Gvozdyk's punches and seeking his openings. His effective aggression lasted from 2:12 to about 1:43, then he was back to finding his way in until the last 40 seconds where he had several bouts of good effective aggression. Gvozdyk was a clear effective aggressor until about 2:12, moving immediately forward to begin the round and using good punches to keep Benavidez circling away. Then he was dealing with Benavidez's effective aggression until about 1:43. Gvozdyk was then able to generally tame Benavidez for a minute or so with his solid boxing and consistent punching. Again, he's not as aggressive as when Benavidez gets aggressive, but he's more consistent. That being said, for effective aggression, I gave Gvozdyk the edge in aggressiveness 10-9, and I gave both men 10 points for effectiveness. Ring generalship. Benavidez is starting to have this theme in many rounds, taking a while to be part of Gvozdyk's plan of control while he looks for ways to begin his own. He did so aggressively from 2:12 to about 1:42, but then not again until the last 40 seconds or less. Gvozdyk controlled action and tone until about 2:12 by setting the pace and keeping Benavidez away from him with solid punching. The tone is clearly to be a sound boxer to keep Benavidez from becoming aggressive. At 1:42, Gvozdyk was able to calm things down again and maintain that for a full minute. Benavidez had to adapt and pick fewer punches at a slower pace, which he did well, but Gvozdyk controlled a longer portion of the round. And therefore, for ring generalship, I gave it to Gvozdyk 10-9. On your screen now, you'll see the lengthy list of defense that Benavidez performed during this round, and now that Gvozdyk performed. If we take those things and categorize them into the different kinds of defense, I gave high guard blocking to Benavidez 10-8, ducking 10-8 to Benavidez, bobbing and weaving 10-8 Benavidez, parrying 8-7 Benavidez, other kinds of blocks that aren't from the high guard 8-7 Benavidez, footwork 10-8 in favor of Gvozdyk, and 7 points to each man for lack of clinch. If we take the 4 scoring categories together, the algorithm says that Benavidez gets 9.376 points and Gvozdyk gets 9.271 on the 10-point must system. 10-9 David Benavidez. And if we have another look at the running score, I now have it 88-83 Benavidez. Judge Zachary Young scored that round 10-9 for Gvozdyk and has it 89-82 Benavidez. Judge Moretti scored it 10-9 for Benavidez and has it also 89-82 Benavidez. Don Trella scored it 10-9 Benavidez and has it also 89-82 Benavidez. Round 10. Clean punching. Benavidez had a jab to the body at 254, jab to the head at 248, another jab to the head at 232, a left hook to the head at 230, jab to the head at 220, left hook to the head at 217, left hook to the body at 214, a jab to the head at 213, jab to the head at 207, again at 204, a left hook to the head at 157, jabs to the head at 144, 134, 123, and 122, and 57 seconds, and 56 seconds, a right hook to the body at 41 seconds, a left hook to the body at 35 seconds, straight right to the head at 30 seconds, a right hook to the head at 26, left hook to the head at 25, a right uppercut to the body, left hook to the head combo at 25, a jab to the head at 13, a left hook to the head at 7 seconds, and then a right hook to the head at 4 seconds remaining. Gvozdyk had a left hook to the head at 240, jabs to the head at 158 and 141, a straight right to the body at 132, jab to the head at 127, straight right to the head at 127 as well, jab to the head at 122, straight right to the chin at 120, and a straight right to the head at 116, jab to the head at 105, a straight right to the head at 1 minute, jabs to the head at 54, 50 and 46 seconds, a jab to the chin at 44 seconds, a jab straight right to the head combo at 40 seconds, jab to the head at 39 seconds, straight right to the head at 22 seconds, a jab straight right to the head combo at 18 seconds, jab to the head at 5 seconds, and a left hook to the body at 4 seconds. This is the first recent round where Gvozdyk was the one catching up with clean punches landed after Benavidez had the better start. Gvozdyk is learning how to sneak straight punches between the guard rather than just hitting gloves so off. Still, Benavidez outlands in clean punches 27-20, and therefore the scoring for clean punching 10-9 in Benavidez. Effective aggression! Both fighters were effectively aggressive in the first minute. Benavidez was more effectively aggressive in the last minute and did land some hard shots in the middle minute as well. Gvozdyk, although still measured and in control, was noticeably more aggressive in the first 2 minutes of this round than in previous rounds. Both fighters had good effective aggression in the first minute, then Gvozdyk was the more effective aggressor in the second minute until Benavidez took over more in the final. Effective aggression 10-9, Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Ring generalship. Benavidez landed more punches because of his precise, fast punches and good defense, so he was able to do great work even while working within the action and tone that Gvozdyk was setting for more of the round. Gvozdyk controlled action and tone for a greater amount of the round. Even though he had to deal with hard, precise punches from Benavidez, he landed many of his own. So in terms of ring generalship, 10-9 in controlling both action and tone for Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Again, you can have a look at the wide variety of defense that was coming from David Benavidez on your screen here. Variety of defense that came from Oleksandr Gvozdyk on your screen here. Like those into the categories that matter for defense. 10-8 for high guard blocking Benavidez. 8-8 in ducking, bobbing, and weaving. I gave 10 points to both men. Parrying 8-7 in Benavidez's favor. Blocking I gave 8 points to both men. Footwork 9-8 in Benavidez's favor this time, and 7 points for lack of clinching to both men. And so if we take the 4 scoring categories together, it's 9.214 points for Benavidez to 9.300 for Oleksandr Gvozdyk. A very close round, but in the 10-point must system, it's 10-9 Oleksandr Gvozdyk. If we take another look at that running score, I now have it 97-93 Benavidez. Judge Zachary Young gave that round also to Gvozdyk and has it 98-92 Benavidez. Judge Dave Moretti gave that round to Benavidez and has it 99-91 Benavidez. And Judge Don Trella gave that round to Benavidez and has it also 99-91 Benavidez. Round 11, clean punching. Benavidez had a right hook to the body at 231, a right hook to the body at 211, a right hook to the head at 210, straight right to the head at 146, right hook to the body at 142, jab to the head at 130, jab to the head at 113, right hook to the body at 111, left uppercut to the head at 105, right hook to the head at 104, left hook to the body at 103, left hook to the head at 59 seconds and again at 55 seconds, jab to the head at 26 seconds, right hook to the body at 9 seconds, and a left hook to the head with 2 seconds remaining. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had 2 jabs to the chest at 221, a straight right to the head at 214, jab to the head at 2 minutes, straight right jab to the head combo at 156, a left hook to the head at 155, jab to the head at 150, right uppercut to the head at 135, straight right to the body at 131, left hook to the head at 124, straight right to the head at 123, jab to the head at 108, straight right to the head at 106, right uppercut to the head at 1 minute, a right hook to the head at 59, straight right to the head at 55, jab to the body at 36, straight rights to the head at 35, and 18 and 6 seconds left on the clock, and we end up with 21-16 clean punches landed in favor of Gvozdyk this time. Is this the first time that Gvozdyk landed more? I think so. And therefore, for clean punching, I gave it 10-9 Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Effective aggression! Benavidez found it more difficult to be effectively aggressive in this round. He was kept away by Gvozdyk's consistent jab and was only able to manage a few spots of effective aggression, staying less energetic for much of the round. Gvozdyk was the more effective aggressor for almost the full round. He used in-and-out movement, much better high guard blocking than before, and consistent jabbing to reduce the frequency of Benavidez's aggressive advances, while he succeeded in his own aggressive position. Effective aggressiveness 10-9 Gvozdyk. Ring generalship. Benavidez was able to control action and tone less than in previous rounds. He was trying to come forward but being kept back by Gvozdyk's consistent jab. He handled the punches well with his, once again, very good defense, but the point is that he was having to react rather than implement his own action and tone. Gvozdyk controlled action and tone for almost the full round with his consistent jab and solid movement, which put himself in the proactive position and Benavidez in the reactive position. Effective aggression 10-9 Oleksandr Gvozdyk. And here's the complete list of defensive moves that Benavidez did in this round. Here is the list of defensive moves that Gvozdyk did in this round, also considerable, but again, not as much defense going on as Benavidez. If we group those things together, the high guard blocking goes to Benavidez 10-8, ducking 10-8 in Benavidez's favor. favor. Bobbing and weaving, that gave 10 points to both men. Parrying, 10-8 Benavidez. Blocking, 9-7 Benavidez. Footwork, again, this is the theme, Gvozdyk 10-8. He's moving away from punches more. And then 7 points to both men for lack of clinch. So if we take the 4 scoring categories together, the algorithm says Benavidez gets 9.029 points and Gvozdyk gets 9.657 points. A pretty wide win, 10-9, Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Let's see what the judges said, though. So I now have the running score 106-103 Benavidez. It's starting to narrow. Judge at ringside, Zachary Young, also gave that round to Gvozdyk and has it 107-102. Judge David Benavidez also gave it to Gvozdyk 10-9 and has it 108-101. And Judge Don Trella somehow gave that round to Benavidez 10-9 and has the fight 109-100. Round 12, the final round. Clean punching. Benavidez had a jab to the head at 258, a left hook to the head at 246, uppercut to the body that went low, so I won't count it, a jab, right hook combo to the head at 228, a jab to the head at 223 and again at 220, left hook to the head at 213, a left hook to the body at 210, right uppercut to the head at 207, jab to the head at 148, straight right to the head at 143, jabs to the head at 129 and 127, left hook to the head at 49 and again at 48, and then a left uppercut to the head at 29 seconds remaining. Gvozdyk, on the other hand, had a jab to the head at 252, a right uppercut to the head at 247, left hook to the head at 241, a straight right to the head at 238, jab to the head at 227, straight rights to the head at 224 and 217, left hook to the head at 217, 2 jabs to the head at 2 minutes, jabs to the body at 154, 153, and 151, a jab straight right to the head combo at 140, jab to the head at 113, straight rights to the head at 59 and 51 seconds, a jab to the head at 50 seconds, jab to the body at 32, straight right to the head at 30, straight right to the body at 6 seconds, straight right to the head at 5 seconds, and left uppercut, right uppercut, left uppercut, right uppercut, 4-punch combo at 2 seconds remaining. All in all, 16-27 clean punches landed in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. And so for clean punching, it's 10-9 Gvozdyk. Effective aggression. The first 2 minutes had good moments of superior aggression for Benavidez, but more consistent aggression for Gvozdyk, who seemed to understand the need for urgency and have enough left to keep delivering it. Benavidez fought in spots delivering good aggression and nice single punches, but he slowed down several times, either due to gas tank or perhaps due to the injury he later reported. Gvozdyk was on the front foot and moving forward with punches of mixed power more consistently, and had that nice body uppercut flurry at the end, even though he was already comfortably ahead in clean punches landed in this round. Effective aggression, 10-9 Gvozdyk. Ring generalship. Benavidez tried hard but took breaks. He was punching hard, as he has done throughout the fight, but maybe that takes too much energy at this late stage. His attempt to set a hard-punching aggressive tone was not able to overcome Gvozdyk's consistent pace. Gvozdyk set the pace, was more composed in maintaining it, and created a tone of consistent punching, some of which were pretty hard, to keep Benavidez too busy to set his own action and tone. Ring generalship, 10-9 in favor of Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Here is your complete list of defensive moves done by David Benavidez. Here is your complete list of defensive moves done by Oleksandr Gvozdyk, a much shorter list for him, but if we group together all of the things you do to defend, it's 10-8 in favor of Benavidez for the high guard blocking, 10-8 in favor of Benavidez for ducking, 10-8 Benavidez for bobbing and weaving, 9-7 Benavidez for parrying, 9-7 Benavidez for other types of blocking, 9-8 footwork in favor of Gvozdyk, and 7 points to each man for lack of clinching, so a more well-rounded defensive round for David Benavidez. And if we look at the 4 scoring criteria, it is 9 points even for Benavidez to 9.543 points for Gvozdyk, fairly wide 10-9 round for Oleksandr Gvozdyk to end the fight. And now the moment you've all been waiting for after watching the David Benavidez-Oleksandr Gvozdyk full fight and going through some of the Benavidez-Gvozdyk highlights with me today to look through the 4 scoring criteria that really matter most in scoring David Benavidez versus Oleksandr Gvozdyk. We now await the answer to the question, who really won David Benavidez versus Oleksandr Gvozdyk? And the answer is David Benavidez, 115-113, certainly closer than some people would have made this fight seem. Let's have a look at whether any of the judges got this right. Judge Zachary Young had it 116-112 for David Benavidez after giving the last round to Gvozdyk. Judge David Benavidez gave the last round to Gvozdyk as well, 10-9, and ended up with a score of 117-111. And Judge Don Trella gave the last round to David Benavidez and had the fight 119-109 Benavidez. So to the question of did the judges get this right? No, none of the judges got this right, although Zachary Young was the closest, being off just by a single round going the other way from what I had. So now that we've gone through Benavidez-Gvozdyk and checked out the Benavidez versus Gvozdyk full fight analysis, now you finally know who really won David Benavidez versus Oleksandr Gvozdyk. If you stuck with me this far, just another reminder to take 3 seconds to like this video. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to be notified every time I put out more content like this for you to enjoy, please subscribe to the channel and click on all notifications. Thanks again for watching. If you like this level of analysis and you want to see it for another fight, or you even want to learn more about my scoring mechanism and how I weight different categories, click on the images at the top of your screen right here.